Hello, everyone. I am Reginald Bullock here with Trey Wilder, and we are Just Living Life. Welcome back to our show, Just Living Life. And today we have a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack, because it really is how some people live their life.
Facts. I was about to say that. We are really just living life on this episode. Like what you went through, and then like the text message. You know what I'm saying? Then like just the conversation afterwards we're about to have now with this. It's literally just us living life, ladies and gentlemen. So I really hope you all enjoy this. So I guess Reggie, with that being said, how are you living?
I'm living good. First and foremost, I'm alive, right? I had cancer and now I don't. I had prostate cancer. I had my prostate removed, and now I don't have it. And so
I feel like you kind of said a lot right then. Let's you know what I'm saying. Let's not just speed past that. Like he ain't just said what he just said. So you had prostate cancer.
yes,
Greg, can you break that down for us a little bit? Because I think this is the educational point, right? What is the prostate? You know, like how did actually? Yeah, let's start with that. What is the prostate actually?
a prostate is a gland organ in your body in men, right? Women don't have a prostate, men do. And it's kind of located, between your scrotum and your rectum. So that little space right in there, that little pelvic area is where the prostate is. And it's about the size of a ping pong ball.
Okay.
And it produces semen. And seminal fluid is what carries the sperm. So the sperm comes from the testicles, and then it jumps into the seminal fluid, which is made by the prostate, and that comes through your urethra, out your penis, and there it is.
Okay. Now, yeah, that was like I said. He said a lot, and so I just wanted to make sure we expounded upon it. So with that being said, then what? And you're not a doctor, or did you?
Nope.
Okay,
I only
make sure
he got
a lot of titles, so you got to double check that.
I'm DJ Dr. Reggie, so I play doctor on the turntables, but other than that, I am not an MD.
Okay. So then, in regards to this, do you know the life expectancy, I guess, of someone like without a prostate, out of curiosity, or someone on prostate cancer? Like what's the life expectancy?
So you asking me how long do I have to live?
Not you specifically, just in general. Like, what's that? Because when I hear cancer, like my granddad had cancer, my grandma had cancer. I've had a lot of people in my family who have cancer. So when I hear like something like that, oh, I'm thinking timetables. Like what? So like, is there a life expectancy or timetable? Like, what's that?
It depends on the person. It depends on the cancer, where it's at. Has it metastasized? Is it stage 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Okay.
And how your body responds to it. So if you have prostate cancer and you don't do anything about it, then there's a strong chance that it's going to metastasize, move out of the prostate into other parts of your body. And now it's like Pac-Man, it's eating.
Hey, yo, that's such a crazy.
And it's eating everything that it comes in contact with because it's hungry.
Right.
All living things need other living things in order to live.
Yeah.
So once cancer gets in your body's a smorgasbord and it's looking for food.
Okay.
So now the challenge with that is how fast is it spreading? Because there's some people who can live 5 years, 10 years, 20 years or more.
Right.
And then there's some people who may not live beyond 5 months, depending on their body.
Okay.
And that we're talking about prostate cancer,
right?
But we also want to mention colon cancer as well, because both a lot of the times you don't know you have it, and then when you finally find out, like Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, at age 43, he found out he had stage 4 cancer in the colon, and there was nothing that they could do at that point because it had already started to spread. So at age 43, he passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah. How do you tell though that you have, like, are there any symptoms that you can know? Because I know when I was looking up, like I had to do a little research for myself just to say I don't want to come off as ignorant, completely at least, but I am ignorant to this because I haven't had to partake in this.
Many of us are.
Yeah. So how can you tell that you have, I guess, cancer? And because
you get checked, and this is what I'm telling everybody: get checked. And the way you get checked for prostate is to do what's called a PSA. You get your blood work done, and there's this PSA level, and they got all these other terms. But the main thing is, based on your blood, they can determine where you are in the scale. So mine was at a 10.
Okay.
And I thought that was significant. And it was significant enough for me to know that, okay, we need to do something about that.
So 10 out of like, what's the highest?
So that's the whole point. I didn't know what the high end was. I just found out that the high end is in the thousands.
Okay. Yeah. So you, okay.
And so I had 10, and then we decided to do another blood sample 30 days later, just to give it a baseline.
Okay.
Same thing, 10. Now it's like, all right, what's next? Next, we're going to do MRI, CT scan, right? And so they're going to scan the prostate, see whatever they can see. They saw something on it that it wasn't smooth. It was just, a slight discoloration, which means something is an anomaly.
Okay.
So next step was to get a biopsy.
Okay.
Now, you want to know how you do a biopsy?
Not really, but I guess for the show, educational purposes, right? Like, but me personally.
So, biopsy. Women go through this all the time. First and foremost, fellas, you need to know, women go through all sorts of invasiveness to their body.
Yeah.
And men don't. So the fact that you got to go through it once or twice, get over it and just do it. So the biopsy. You lay on a bed. It's kind of angling you back just a little bit, and your feet are in them stirrups. You ever see them stirrups when women are giving birth and all that?
Yeah.
Well, it's not just for women.
Okay.
It allows the doctor to have full access to your rectum. And so now what they do is they lube you up, and they put this thing in there because now they got to put a scope in there, right? And they're going to use a when they put gel on it, the ultrasound, so that they can see, and they have this other scope in there, and they're going to numb you up, right? And so now you don't feel everything.
That's decent.
So they're sticking needles, to numb you up in your prostate area. And they're going to use this mechanical thing and get a little snippet off of your skin of your prostate. And they took 20 biopsies. So imagine different parts of the prostate, they need little pinches so that they can look at it under the microscope and be able to determine if there's anything there. So they did that to me. And then the determination was it was cancerous. They said, we found a small percentage on one of the biopsies that you have cancer. Now the question is what to do next, right? So you hear about people going through chemotherapy and radiation and all these other kind of things. So I talked to a few people who are in medicine. My line brother is one, he's a nurse. My best friend's a surgeon. And so I talked to a few people, and I talked to the doctors, and they were giving me the option of I can either just monitor it, right? Every 3 months, get my PSA to see if it goes up or down. And we can wait a year or two or longer and just kind of go to that monitor. And some people do. Some people just go through the monitoring piece.
When I'm looking at cancer, I'm thinking I want that removed real quick, right? Like if I have like a burglar or an intruder, I want him to move. I don't want to just survey him and see, oh, he's doing fine and she's doing fine. Like I want to remove. So why would someone want to go a surveillance route with cancer as opposed to just?
So because the cancer may not be aggressive.
Okay.
It may just kind of be sitting there and not doing much.
So it's the risk tolerance level. If it's not aggressive, then it's okay to monitor it and just come back and check the PSAs.
I don't know that answer.
It sounds like
it's different for everybody,
right?
And so when you're checking your PSA, and you're monitoring it, you're just monitoring to see, is it spreading? Is it getting stronger? Are you now at a 50 or 100 or 500? But you don't really know how fast that's going to happen. Here's what I tell people. If you know what your status is on January the 7th, and your next checkup is March the 7th, what's going on January 8th, 9th, 10th, February, you don't know until March. And so if it's aggressive and spreading, you can get in there in March and say, well, you just went from a 10 to a 500. Now what? Well, now you may not have the same options.
Right. And that's why I was saying that wait around method. I get the doctors are saying it's doable.
Right.
I personally, if I'm in those shoes, I might want to remove it as quick as possible. Is that where you were, I guess?
No.
Okay.
I had to think about it, right? And just kind of listen to everybody.
Right.
And I initially was thinking, well, since I don't have to get it done right away, maybe I'll get it done next year. That was my goal. I'll monitor it and get it done next year.
Okay.
And then I started talking to other people, and there are people who cannot get it removed because once you reach a certain stage, or once the cancer is spread, or whatever it's done from the medical term, you are not a good candidate to have your prostate removed. And also your age, depending on how old you are, what the trauma may be to your body. You still got to go into anesthesia, right? And so there are a lot of risks associated where your risk factor may be so high to remove your prostate, and therefore removal is not good. I had one of my friends, he told me, Reggie, I went through everything you went through. I made the same decisions you made. They went in to remove my prostate. They saw that there was some scar tissue on there, and they aborted. They stopped. They had the robotics in there. They had already cut him open. He was in sleep, knocked out, and they're getting everything, doing all the stuff they got to do, and they're just about to, and they're like, whoa.
How'd they miss the scar?
You can't see it until you see it.
Oh, that's trifling. They done all this work. You might as well listen. I'd be pissed if I was him like that. So, what's the steps after that for him then?
The same steps first of all, they got to remove everything out, sew them back up, do everything they did to me. He's got to go through that same recovery of his body, his abdomen, and everything else.
But they ain't do that.
And now he's got to go through whatever it is, whether it be diet, whether it be medicine, whether it be chemo or radiation or whatever, because now removal is no longer an option.
That's wild. Let me ask you this. I don't want to throw this out there too, but I think with doctors, they have a lot going on in their day to day. Is that something that someone can actually sue you for? Because again, it's like you're doing all this work, and you're telling me now you've done all this work, and I'm about to go through so much crap, and nothing's changed. You haven't done anything to me, essentially. So is that something where someone can sue somebody?
So I'm not a doctor or a lawyer. I do know that anybody can be sued.
Anybody can be sued, but I mean successfully. I should say that.
Right. And so therein lies, it would be an investigation, and study, and facts, and all of those types of things. You did sign a whole bunch of elements that said, these are the risk factors. And technically, would you want a doctor to remove your prostate if there were a high risk once they went in there? So all of those types of things you probably should have read, and because you did sign for it.
Right.
So, I don't know. And why would you sue, right? Because the doctor made a game decision right there on the spot that this is too risky, not good, let's abort.
I'm thinking from a human standpoint, someone might want to take their, I guess, aggression out on somebody.
People do that, I'm sure.
Blame the doctor. So
you know what? There is no shortage of people blaming somebody else because of their emotional state of how they feel, and they want to transpose their feeling onto someone else. Right. Doesn't make it right. Yeah. Again, at the end of the day, there are facts that need to come out. But I don't see the point in suing a doctor for doing their job to the best of their ability. Right.
Okay. And for me, it would have been more so bro, we couldn't have found the scar tissue anytime sooner. Really? That's hurtful. But I get that too, though. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
You know how many people we lost through COVID?
A lot.
Right?
A lot.
Well, why didn't you figure out that they had COVID? How didn't you figure out COVID was in the room? Why didn't you know COVID was, in the air? You don't. Yeah. Some things you just don't know until you do.
Okay.
All those people that got COVID, you wish you could have figured out what gave them COVID so that you could have prevented it from happening.
Yeah, that's true too.
Or not been in that environment or whatever, right? But you don't have control. So do you sue everybody who
it might not be the best route to go. Plus, you might lose some friends along the way that route too.
Smile Services DC was started with the idea of making a difference. Dr. Albert Coombs III and Dr. Kevin Granger chose to practice healthcare for its ability to impact the overall mental and physical health of our community. Diabetes, high blood pressure, GI, and other systematic diseases are common within the African American community and are often worsened by poor oral health. We guarantee that when you walk through our door, we will treat you not as a patient, but as family. From the seats you sit in to the warmth of our staff, we provide an intimate environment that offers our community a place to come and feel welcome. We chose our location, staff, and work environment to serve our community. So it's important that we offer a much needed practice that's reliable and highly qualified, with a clean and safe environment that everyone can have access to. This is why we accept the most health insurances and offer affordable rates for services not covered. At Smile Services DC, we strengthen our community by offering services that help not only with the overall physical health of our patients, but their confidence too. When you have your big job interview, wedding day, graduation, you want to feel happy and confident, and Smile Services DC can help with that. So come on down and have a healthy smile with your family.
Let me ask you this though, because you went through this.
Yeah,
I did,
and I'm still just living life.
you know what I'm saying? So what was? And maybe you can tell me your initial thoughts. Like, bro, were you scared? Because I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Like, if I would be terrified. Like from the news, hearing it,
right,
to the actual going into the procedure. Like, I would be terrified all the way through. I would have to go through it. You can't change it, but I'm gonna be nervous. Like, you know what I'm saying? That whole process, you just snip, tuck, like lube up, like, hey, what? Just
it's a process, and it's a medical process. Was I scared? I don't think I was scared or nervous because I have a tendency to focus on the facts. I was trained in the military for 30 years. I've been around weapons systems all my life, rockets, missiles, bombs, and guns. And I've seen stuff, right? And I've experienced a lot of different things, to include, life and death situations. So it was like, okay, here's another one, right? And so at that point, I'm either going to be alive tomorrow or I'm not. Now, that's a reality of every day.
Yeah.
Like, or even right now, right? We don't know whether we're going to be alive tomorrow. We assume we are, but we don't know that. That person driving down the highway that smashes into another car and ejected out, and now they're gone. They didn't know that was going to happen.
That was not on the itinerary.
And so, therefore, how you live your life is also important.
Yeah.
I don't live my life in fear like that. When it's time for me to go, I'm good. I got a house, I got stuff, whatever. All right, but you can't take none of it with you.
That's true.
Did I enjoy myself while I was here? I did. Did I do good work while I was here? I did. I mastered some things, I mentored some people, and I've made a difference. So I'm always ready to leave this planet. That's just me. Because we got to go sometime, right?
Yeah.
The world's over 4 billion years old. We're never going to see 100, half of us.
No, that's true.
So we're here for like that.
I have said, I came into this world dying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
So
the moment you're born,
you start.
It's kind of like leaves on a tree. The moment those leaves are on the branches of the tree, they are dying.
Right. And I just don't know. Sometimes I don't want to get to that journey, to that destination too soon. Like, I do think you have your purpose, right? And I think I'm still trying to fulfill that one. So that might be the reason why too.
You feel like you haven't done it, but is there a reason to be afraid? Because the answer is that I'm scared, right?
Yeah, well, I'm scared for the procedure itself.
That something could go wrong.
Yeah, I'm really
removing a body part.
Yeah, that the whole I'm knocked out. You got to leave me up type stuff. Like I'm.
Man, I've been in the military long enough to have had a lot of friends to lose body parts. I got a close friend, Army Colonel, who is a double amputee. He doesn't have any legs. He got an awesome truck he drives. I had lunch with him. He, he's a black guy who was in the movies and everything else. I'm not mentioning his name, but it's kind of famous. Point is, he's smiling all the time. He out speaking, doing all kinds of things, and he don't have no legs. So his, my ability to do stuff is still here. I may not be able to have, produce any babies anymore, but I don't want to. So, but at least I can run.
Yeah.
I can go up the stairs.
Okay.
I can do a whole lot of things.
So you found solace in your acceptance of where
No,
you were.
no. I don't even look at it as finding solace. I didn't look for solace.
So,
You know what I mean? How you
okay.
going? I found solace. It would have been because I was looking for solace. I
Okay.
wasn't looking for solace. I was just being me.
Okay. Okay. So
I'm still just living.
you just accepted it. It was like, it is what it is, and you just kept pushing.
I've had so many injuries.
Okay.
You know what I
Through
mean?
his experience. Did you do any research prior to about prostate cancer as a whole, just to give you a little better prep work? Because I at least got to do
I
that.
did no research
No?
before I found out about it. I did a lot of research after I found out about it. I kind of wish I had did more research, and this is for everybody, right? Especially men. We don't think about these type of things. We don't talk about these type of things.
Facts.
There are certain communities, they talk about everything all the time, right?
Yep.
In the female community, they communicate a lot of things about their womanhood.
Mm-hmm.
So they learn from each other, right? A 13-year-old is having a menstrual, right? Who's never had it before. So they got people to talk to, they learn about it, and then there are other things they go through, pap smears, all these kind of things,
I
right?
think that's society too, though, because definitely men will sit up here and berate you if they got to educate you on something. Whereas, like, if you're a woman, I don't know if they're going to berate you as much. They might be a little bit more accepting. So that I think that might be the case too.
It's an emotional intelligence piece that I think women do a better job at than men. And particularly in the Black male community, you know, our culture, we definitely do different things, but we don't communicate this enough, right? And then you have what I call the SBMs, the straight Black men. Our ego, our attitude, our thought process, our culture, our machoism, all of that stuff that makes us us is the same stuff that prevents us from communicating and talking like we should be doing right now.
Yeah.
I got a lot of friends in the LGBTQ community, and a couple of them might look. You got LGBTQ plus. I got SBM. So next time y'all say LGBTQ plus, y'all better add the SBMs in there. Stop leaving us out. But the point is, those types of conversations occur in those communities. In our community, which is one of the highest amongst the deaths of prostate cancer and colon cancer, we don't talk about it. So the research that I did, I'm sharing it with everybody,
right? So
that if you don't do research, at least maybe you listen to this and you learn something, you know, because he knows I'm just learning too.
Facts. Like, cause like I had to do a little bit of research. Like I didn't know. Let's see, what was it? 13% of American men get it. Like, and can actually die if I'm not mistaken. Like 2 out of 3. That's like when I first heard that, I said, "Damn, I might only need to know 2 brothers." Like, like that's crazy when you think about it. So, like even like a colonoscopy. Like I have not want. I have been, you know what I'm saying? I have been.
Let's have this conversation.
I don't want to turn 40. Let's just say that. I don't want to turn 40.
And why don't you want to?
I don't want anything. Listen, the only hands that need to go up my tail is me. That's it. Anything that needs to go up that route, that is coming from me. So that's the reason why. But it's also
that's the reason. No,
that's the reason why I don't want anybody. That's always.
So that's age 40. So you think at age 40, somebody got to stick their finger up your butt and check something? And you don't want nobody doing that. Is that what you're saying? Long story short, that's you think it's like a violation or something?
Be a little violation. Like
see, LGBTQ plus community may be laughing at you right now.
They might be.
And here's why. Because you don't even need to do that. You can give a stool sample.
I'll do that then. But like for the longest, that's
new
all
technology, bro.
For the longest, that's all I've been heard. And
who told you that?
I mean, you hear it on TVs, movies, but like, so it's stuff like that. But this is also when I'm like a teenager, maybe that's when I'm like, you really hear about it.
So you developed a phobia.
Oh yeah, it's a mean phobia.
Anything getting near that part of your body is a no.
Oh, it's a smooth no. It's a casual no.
No pun intended, right?
I was gonna say hard no. That's why I stopped it.
So it's funny. But the point is this, right? New technology.
Yep.
Same thing with prostate, right? Because they would stick their finger. I mean, everybody in the military has been in the military for many years. You know, we go through this every year, right? It's an annual rectal exam. You have to have it. And so And half of us had no idea what they were checking for. It was just like he's like, all right, hurry this up, right? Because get over it. The point is, they're checking. You can check the prostate. You can check other things. They can see whether you have any polyps or something like that. Well, all of this is like, checking to see if you have cancer. So why wouldn't you want to know?
I would want to know. It's just the process. Like, there's another route.
So you're 31,
correct.
all right, and therefore you can give a stool sample at any given time. Next time you get your blood checked, you can ask them to check your PSA. You know how they have these 3 or 4 vials there, and you just go, next one could be for your PSA. So therefore, it's not really being violated. You're not being violated.
Okay, so that's okay. All right.
And they can even mail you a kit that you can go to the bathroom and do what you do, and put a sample on this thing, throw it back in the envelope, and send it. And a week or 2 later, the doc will tell you what the results are. So that's the new and improved violation.
Okay.
You can do that, can't you?
I can do that one.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, that's a lot. See, that's why you got to do your due diligence earlier on. Like, I was probably gonna do this research before I turned 40. You know what I mean? I think it's appropriate.
But here's the other thing, right? Because if you are in one of the most high risk groups, you just said that several members of your family had cancer. So therefore, cancer runs in your family.
Yeah, it does.
And you're African American male. So therefore, you're also at risk from being in that particular community.
Yeah.
Now, if cancer runs in your family and you're a black man, why would you ever want to wait till you're 50, right? A lot of people be telling me. And they said, my doc said I gotta wait till no. It's your life.
But see, we're going off of a professional though. So if a professional is telling me, wait till I'm 50, I might just be waiting till I'm 50. Like when I was looking for a new car, the dealer told me like, hey, don't get a used car. The market's trash. This is his job. I'm gonna trust him. So like to that point, if a doctor's saying wait till 50, you still say, go a little earlier?
Well, I kick in reality and logic. Like first thing, doc, nothing against doctors.
They don't know everything right.
My question is, when does cancer show up? And how would I know? I don't care how many degrees you got. This is my body. So you're telling me wait till age 50. All right, cool. When does cancer show up? And how would I know? They can't answer that question.
Okay.
When it's going to show. Black Panther. I bet his family wish he had known before age 40.
Yeah.
Because if he died at age 43, that means cancer was there. Hanging out, doing its thing.
Yeah.
You don't get to stage 4. You go through stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sometimes it happens fast. Sometimes it happens slow. The point is, if I'm in the most high-risk group on the planet, and I have it in my family,
right?
Then first of all, this doc that's telling me, I want that doc to also be a black man in the highest risk group whose family members have been dying from cancer to tell me I'm gonna wait till 50. Nah, he ain't waiting till 50.
Okay. I get that.
But I'm not gonna just listen to somebody from some other community who has algorithms and whatnot to tell them based on the research and based on peer review and this and this and this, that by the time you're 50, that's when you should get checked. Dude.
Okay. Because it's not affecting his life. So if he did say, look, my homeboy Dill, right? He's a brother, he one of y'all, and he waited till he was 50. He's a doctor. If he told you that, if your doctor told you that,
I'd say the same thing I just said.
Gotcha.
Tell me, when does cancer show up and how do I know?
Yeah.
And tell me, should Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, have waited until he was 50 to do what you're saying?
Yeah.
He can't wait till he's 50.
Yeah.
Because he's never going to see 50.
So it doesn't matter.
Because he probably was told by somebody to wait till he was 50, and he listened to that doctor that you're talking about.
Okay.
Now what?
So what you're saying is you took your own life into your own hands, made the best decision for you, or at least you would, and you feel like everybody else should, and that's That sounds like a definition of just living life.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has the right to decide how they want to live.
Yep.
And how they want to handle decisions, medical decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this right here is binary. If people are dying at age 43, why are you telling people to wait to age 50? How stupid is that? Like, that really is stupid.
Yeah.
That's a math, like, all right, I'm 43, people dying at 43, but you tell me to wait to get checked until I'm 50? I mean, how stupid is that?
See, I don't know the exact age everybody dying, but I did know that they said 50 is like, the average time to get checked. High risk is 45. But I'm thinking just from the colonoscopy standpoint, I was told 40. So I figured I was going to get everything done in one fell swoop by age 40, like even when I got blood work done.
Maybe it costs money for the insurance companies to do the research, not research, but to do the study after they take a sample, and the doctors and the scientists, and therefore there is a cost associated with that.
Maybe.
So everybody started doing it. It is a business. So if everybody did it at age 40, their revenue will go down because their expenses will go up. So that could be part of it, but it's my life.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay.
Swanky's Construction serves as a general contractor in the metropolitan D.C. area. We're a team of certified professionals who tackle everything from complex large projects to smaller scale jobs. Fueled by our commitment to excellence, we go the extra mile to make sure clients are completely satisfied with our work. Swanky's Construction takes pride in ensuring our clients' home improvement needs are met with efficiency, precision, and perfection. Call us today. You're only seconds away from a consultation or in-person walkthrough.
So what would you say, because we talked about a lot, right? What would you say was the biggest lesson learned? Because for me, what I took out of this was there's no reason to be scared. You need to actually make sure that you're planning your life properly, just living life. And if you want to continue living life, you need to do things that you need to do. So, I mean, that's really what I took out of this. That's why I asked you, like,
it's easy for me to tell somebody there's no reason to be scared. But every human being has their own journey that they walk in life that causes them to think and do things that they can do.
Right.
So people are going to be scared, right? And the emotional intelligence piece would at least be understanding, right? That they're scared. This is what they're going to go through. This is their feeling, not mine. It's theirs. So I'm not going to deny a person their feelings. So, getting your things in order, we're always supposed to do that, right? And we don't. So that's just, these are just realities. So you could do the hindsight 2020, but reality is different for everybody. And like you said, this is just living life. So many people have cancer, and they're just living life. And then there are so many people who don't know they have cancer, that do have cancer, and they're just living life. And so the biggest takeaway for me is that cancer is real, and it doesn't care. And therefore, the only way to know is to get checked. And soon and often. I'm not getting checked every 5 years. My PSA could go up. So I'm getting checked every 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Hey, cancer showed up in me.
Yeah.
It may have made a roadmap for something else to come.
Before you did have it, would you have changed it to annually instead of like every? Okay.
I would have done it annually, because you get your blood work.
Right.
I didn't even know what PSAs were. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't know you can get it checked through your blood work either. Because like I would be like, hey, give me everything, like test everything. I don't care. I'm sure I'm clean. Run it. Like so. Right. Yeah, because I
didn't know.
Because I was talking to some homeboys actually, and this was like a while ago too. You don't know what you don't know. So like everybody's harping on, oh, I didn't, like for example, you didn't get someone pregnant. Bravo. Real quick, you know if you can. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that could be a thing, because we're not really thinking about that. We're worrying about, this person didn't get pregnant.
Right.
Yeah, so...
That's what your age group talks about?
Well, I brought it up. Okay. I brought it up. It was like a little while ago, too. But I'm also thinking about, like, how will I be, I guess, as I'm older?
Yeah.
Because like I want to have kids, I want to have grandkids, I want to be able to run around and stuff like that. So if I can't do that, that's tough. So
And that could be a reason why a person doesn't want their prostate removed, right? Because they still need more time, or they still want to have more children, or whatever the reason. Once you remove that, right, that's permanent. There's no putting it back. Now, vasectomy, you can get a vasectomy done, and then you can get it undone.
yeah, I don't want the scissors in my boys.
So you can get it done, you can get it undone, but a prostate removal, there's no undoing that. Once it's removed, it's removed. And so that whole seminal fluid piece is not happening anymore. So, and then of course your urethra is, cut and reconnected to your bladder. So, you gotta go pee, at least it still comes out that hole. I know, right? I can still feel it too, trust me.
He said, at least. What a consolation prize. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Hey, it's tough getting old.
No, that's real.
But you know what? If you live long enough, you'll get old.
No, that's true.
And
that's
this
true.
is,
And you learn
this is
so
my
much.
new reality.
New reality. You learn a lot. You are also able to help educate people too. Not just myself, but think about it. You can talk to people your age,
Right?
people younger than you, hell, people older than you. Because we just talked about it. Folks didn't share anything.
Right.
Like they tried to keep stuff bottled up. And it's either you didn't want to get clowned or you didn't want people to, like, whatever the case.
A lot of people came over to me, at our J5, and they were saying, Reg, man, I found out I had prostate cancer and, working through it. Like, but you know what? Thank you for posting that out on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know where you found the courage to do it. I don't know how you were able to just say the stuff you said. Like, I couldn't have done it. But thank you for doing it, because now they can take my footage and share it with people that they know.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, this is my situation. I have prostate cancer. This guy, Reggie Bullock, put this out. Here's the link. And everything he's saying is what I'm going through, right? And so they can help educate their family members and friends. But, it's just different. But this is a reality. You cannot hide from cancer.
Facts. You can't. And it's like a lot of diseases you can't hide from. Like I remember that my grandma, she had sepsis. And I remember
What's sepsis?
it's like, I don't have the direct terminology from it. I just know your survival rate is 50% chance. Yeah, so like as soon as I heard it, I immediately went, I was looking to see what it was. And it's like I at least learned, okay, well, if this happened to someone else, I at least know going forward how to at least
You can have a conversation.
Yeah, so like I think it is helpful to be educated. I think it's also helpful to know what's coming down the pipe later on, because that acceptance piece, I was able to accept that my grandmother was passing away a lot easier
I get it.
than that. So yeah, it's a lot.
My mother died from stage 4 breast cancer. And the final year, we spent a lot of time together. I was back and forth forever. But because I knew about it, I was able to spend a lot of quality time with her. And then learn from her experience. She educated me on while she was going through. Right. Yeah. And so this is just a reality of living that sometimes we don't really want to hear about and know about. We just stick our head in the sand. It didn't happen, and so now this is my reality. I'm sharing it. There's so many people, I got a lot of phone calls and text messages, right? And some folks were scared. For me,
I ain't gonna lie, Reggie, when you first told me about, like, when you were going through stuff like that, you told me about it real quick. I'm in the back seat. I'm like, I said this so casually. Like, hold on, bro. Like, what? I was a little sad. I was sad. I was a little hurt. I was a little mad. I'm like, damn, you gonna say that casually? So like, a lot of people will feel sad for you.
Oh yeah, like, it shocked a lot of people when I posted it out there from the hospital bed. So I'm live from the hospital bed, and people were like, "What?
It's real, then.
It's real." They're like, "Oh, Reggie dying?" I'm like, "No, I'm not dying." They're like, "Yeah, you are."
Yeah.
Now everybody wants to come to the hospital, right? I'm like, "No, you can't do that." And then Rico called, right? So he's like, "Reggie, everybody's calling me. They want to know when can I come to your house, when you're gonna get home." I'm like, "Dude, I don't want to see nobody." it's COVID and flu season and all that other stuff. I don't want anybody in my house. I want to recover. I want to have my peace. I want to sleep. So I apologize to a lot of people because everybody wanted to come, you know, and express their whatever they were feeling, right? And I get that. So that whole emotional piece is interesting because it ain't just me. There's a lot of other people who had an emotional experience based on my cancer.
Yeah.
And you got to respect that.
Yeah.
But educationally wise, it's an opportunity for people to learn because this ain't over.
Facts.
Somebody else we know is going to get cancer next week.
Yeah.
We may not know who they are, but it's going to happen. Somebody in our family is going to get cancer this year, 2024. Somebody in our family may die from cancer. This is a fact. I could get cancer again. Just because the prostate was removed and that cancer was removed doesn't mean cancer can't come back in another form, in another location on my body. You know, and so therefore, it's a reality that there's a war going on inside of me.
Oh yeah, I feel like there's a war going on inside of everybody. Like like my granddad had cancer, had lung cancer, and my grandma had skin cancer. So like, I don't know the skin cancer part. I can't tell you about that one. The lung cancer part, I knew he like chewed tobacco and smoke and stuff like that. So if I had like a stogie, you know what I'm saying? Like that will hit the back of my head. Like, okay. Yeah, like that really, like, it really does come across my head sometimes. So I'm like, you just gotta, I guess, I almost don't want to say I accept it. I also don't do it too much, but like, you still accept it. But you gotta at least know that risk is there out there and it helps you move. At least it helps me move. Because at the end of the day, like the show's title, I'm just trying to live life, and can't really do that.
Yeah, you can't not live life.
Yeah.
Right. And so there are some elements of life that you just want to indulge in and enjoy and have fun. There's a lot of bad stuff I do. Right. I ain't perfect. I do what I like to do. And so smoking cigars, there's no real upside, significant benefit from smoking a cigar. Right. If anything, yeah. So, but people do it all the time. And there's a lot of things, you know, that we do that there's no good benefit. There's a bad part about it. And that's a risk.
Yeah.
And some people like to live on the edge like that.
So actually, a lot of people do, Reggie, because like I feel like we talked about the cancer aspect, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's because you talked about your live video, and I feel like people might get a chance to see that coming up very soon.
Hello, my name is Reginald Bullock, and today is day 35 of me being cancer-free as a cancer survivor. On December 19th, 2023, I went in for surgery for prostate removal. And 35 days later, I'm recovering well. I am getting back my strength. I'm starting to do a little bit of cardio and stretching. In another couple of weeks, I'll be doing more exercises. So I'm fine. I wrote some notes down because I wanted to do a public service announcement. And first and foremost, men who are listening to this, get checked. Men who are listening to me right now, get checked for prostate cancer and get checked for colon cancer. So get your prostate checked and your colon checked. How do you do that? Blood sample for the prostate, and you can do a specimen for your colon. We'll get into that. I'm in good company, so to speak. I say that because I'm not the only person who has undergone prostate treatment, prostate removal, and who's had prostate cancer. So I have a list of some other folks who had prostate cancer and went through a procedure. I don't know the full details of everybody's situation on this list. Some may have had prostate removal. They may have had some other type of surgical thing done to their prostate. And some may have battled with prostate cancer for a long time. Some may have found out they had prostate cancer at stage 3 or stage 4. Some it may even have metastasized. So I don't know everybody's situation. But I want all of the men to know that this is a common thing. And if you do not know whether or not you have cancer, you need to get checked. Get checked. So, Nelson Mandela, Dexter King, Colin Powell, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, Robert De Niro, Roger Moore, James Bond, Roger Moore, Ken Griffey Sr., Arnold Palmer, Harry Belafonte, Warren Buffett, Ben Stiller, Sidney Poitier, and Frank Zappa, Al Roker, Rod Stewart, all had prostate cancer. And I did too. So get checked. Public service announcement. Get checked. Now, the second most common cancer in men after skincare is prostate cancer. 13 out of 100 men will get it. Think about it. If you are ever in a room with 100 men, that means 13 minimum will probably get prostate cancer. And if you're in the room with 100 black men, then it's probably going to be 16 who get prostate cancer or more, maybe even 26, double that. So the point is, get checked. 2 to 3 men will die. Now I say that because it's the truth, right? And as I hear stories from my journey, I am learning how many men are deathly afraid of prostate cancer because it's cancer. But the reality is, if you get checked early and you know you have it, there's something you can do about it. If you find out you have cancer and it's stage 4 already, that means you should have got checked early. So get checked. The older you are, the greater your chance of getting it. I'm 61 years old. I didn't have cancer when I was 51 years old. I'm 61 years old. And there are people who are turning 71 and 81 finding out they have prostate cancer. So the older you get, the higher the chances are that you will get it. And therefore, you need to be concerned about your risk factor. So let's shift a little bit, right? Because here is the challenge with most men that I'm talking to. Erectile dysfunction and infertility. It made it taboo to talk about it, right? Men don't want to talk about my penis will not get erected or I cannot get anybody pregnant. Those are two things that men don't really like to talk about. But I'm talking about it because it's real. So if you have prostate cancer, prostate surgery, there's a chance that you could actually get erectile dysfunction for a small period of time, right? You know, it's different for everybody. But I'm talking about it because the reality is you are still alive. So get checked. And if you need to, go through treatment or whatever, go through it. If you do not get checked and you do not know, then what? So erectile dysfunction, infertility, I get it. And I know that, as men, we want to be able to have our full function all the time. I get it. But if you're not alive, now what? So what? If you're not alive, so get checked. Public service announcement. I know you're going to get tired of me saying it. Reggie, just why you keep saying it? Because it's saving lives. So what is the prostate? The prostate is a part of the male reproductive system and is located in the pelvis between the penis and the bladder. It's a small gland around the size of a walnut, and its function is to produce a white fluid that partly makes up the semen. So it's seminal fluid, right? Men, trans women, non-binary people who are assigned male at birth, and some intersex people have prostates. Let me repeat that. Men, trans women, non-binary people who were assigned male at birth, and some intersex people have prostates. Therefore, regardless of your designation, get checked if you have a prostate. Bottom line, if your body has a prostate, get it checked, learn your PSA, and know what you need to know. So what is prostate cancer? Prostate cancer can develop when cells in the prostate start to grow in an uncontrolled way. My prostate cancer was caught and it was at stage 3. And initially I had a PSA done, and then I had an MRI. The MRI showed something on the prostate. Then we had the biopsy. The biopsy definitely said I had prostate cancer, made the decision to have it removed. If I didn't have it removed, what could have happened? Well, the cancer could have spread to my bladder. It could have spread to various organs. It could have spread to my colon. It could have spread a lot of different places throughout my body. And therefore, it will have metastasized. And now it's beyond my prostate, uncontrollable. And I would have to do other things to just prolong my life. Fortunately, I caught it early. I didn't have to go through radiation or chemotherapy. I'm not taking any medication or any of those types of things. For me, it's life back to normal, minus a couple of things that's going to take a few months to get to where it needs to get to. But I got checked early. You need to get checked early. What are the symptoms of prostate cancer? Prostate cancer typically develops slowly, so men might not notice any signs over the years. So you could be having prostate cancer right now, not know it, not feel it, there's no sign. Some symptoms do appear that usually happen when the prostate becomes large enough to impact the urethra. What's the urethra? It's that tube that runs through your penis that's connected to your bladder and connected to your testicles by way of other parts of your body so that fluid comes out. So your urethra is that tube that allows fluid to come out. Now, when the prostate enlarges and presses on that, things can happen. And some of the things could be you have an increased need to pee, you're straining while you're peeing, and you're feeling your bladder is not fully empty. So you could even have a UTI, urinary tract infection, which doesn't happen often in men. So men, if you get that, get checked. These are some of the things that I want to talk about, but the reality is I survived it. You can survive it. I'm listening to so many stories. I have a friend right now. He is a week post-surgery. He had prostate cancer. He had his prostate removed, and he and I are talking. I was talking to an attorney yesterday who gets a lot of disclosure from people, and he said, Reggie, men are afraid. They are just scared. They have a fear, and so they don't want to get checked. They don't want to know, because to know means you got to deal with it. Well, you have friends and family and children and other people who rely on you, who care about you. Get checked. Ladies, you know men, right? You have fathers and brothers and sons and uncles and friends and acquaintances and significant others and just people, co-workers, right? Term work husband, right? So share information with them. Share this video with them and tell them to get checked. Again, here's the question. Do you or don't you know whether or not you have cancer? If you don't know, find out yes or no. Ladies, use this video, use the information, and share it with the people that you know to help them. Now, men, ladies go through a lot. They go through a tremendous amount of experiences, starting as early as teenagers. We're not built the way they are. So I get it. Women are strong. Men, we're not as strong as women. But they go through all types of poking and prodding and checking and getting samples and all of those types of things. And then they deal with it. Here's another thing. Outside of prostate and colon cancer, children get cancer. Children get cancer. Children as young as age 1 or not even age 1 have cancer. 6-year-olds have cancer. 10-year-olds have cancer. So this is serious. And there are children, 6-year-old children going through chemo, radiation, and dealing with it with a smile. So men, get checked. Get checked. I had a cousin who found out for the first time his PSA, and it was over 1,800. My PSA was a 10, which was high. If your PSA is below a 3, you can do the monitoring. I say talk to your doctor for all of that. But if it's below a 3, you're not a high risk. Mine was a 10. I was a high risk. I did MRI, biopsy. My cousin found out 1,800 plus. So he was not really a candidate for a whole lot of things, stage 4. And he didn't live long after that. Another friend, he found out he had a 550 something. And then after his biopsy, it was 700 and something. So he's managing it now. Get checked. Again, this is a public service announcement because I am cancer free. I am a survivor. I want you to be cancer free. I want you who have it to be survivors. And therefore, this is one of the best things that I can do as opposed to doing nothing. Again, I'm Reginald Bullock. And if you want to message me and you want to talk and you're going through it and you have that fear factor or you're scared or you're nervous, or you don't know what to do, I'm not a doctor, but I'll give you a few minutes of my time just to help you along your journey.
Sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. Whether with coworkers, friends, family, we all love the entertainment. Well, here on Get a Bucket, my goal is to talk about sports and its cultural impact. The WNBA, for example. The WNBA is loads of entertainment, from the new rookies battling, displaying their skill sets, and preparing to take the league by storm, to the titans and the MVPs of the league clashing for battles we'll always remember. From imagining the soon-to-be possibilities, to admiring and treasuring the finales. Get a Bucket is a platform where other sports analysts, hoopers, coaches, and fans of the show come and talk about the WNBA, both negatives and positives. So if you haven't, take a quick peek. At the very least, you'll have a good time. Remember, sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. So please, tune in and stay connected.
But
Is that a plug?
it was. But one thing I do know that people might want to hear about, because I think they kind of go hand in hand. Not, they kind of go a little bit. Katt. But like, I think when you're, like, for example, Katt William, like in his did you watch Katt Williams?
I did.
Okay. So one, what did you think about that?
I like Katt Williams because he's just real. He's himself. He's not necessarily worried about what happens if I say the truth. He's not worried about what everybody may think about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's at his point in life that he knows himself, he's accepted himself, and he's gonna be himself. Now, he put a whole lot of people on blast. He talked about a lot of people, a lot of things. He called folks liars. He called them a lot of names, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is how he feels, based on his experience of what he knows. And he was asked questions, right? He didn't just show up and say, I'm blasting this and this and this and this. And then, if I'm going to tell it, then I got to tell it all. He didn't just show up with a list of everything that he's just going to, he answered questions.
Right.
So to that end, he answered the questions, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
He was asked questions directly, and he didn't evade them.
Yep.
A lot of people sidestep questions.
Yep.
You ask them a question, and then, like when I ask the person, I'm like, I just asked you a question you didn't answer. So let me ask it again in case you didn't hear it the first time. Then they say something like, are you deaf? I just asked you a question and you're not. So what is this now? You don't want to answer my question, or you scared to answer my question? Well,
Maybe you're expecting something different too, because I think sometimes we have an answer. And like, for example, my uncle asked me what was my 5-year plan. And I told him, and he said, that's not a 5-year plan. And I'm like, yes, it is. What are you talking about? This is like 5 years. I have this mapped out. It wasn't what he wanted, but it was a 5-year plan though. So like, maybe that might be what you're running into.
No, that's not.
No. Oh, okay. No. Like,
I'm running into, the light was red. Not yellow, red. I said it was red, you saw it was red, and you went through it anyway. Did you go through a red light? Well, it could have been red. I saw it was red, you saw it was red, and you even sped up and ran through the red light.
Yeah,
My question is, did you run through a red light?
You gotta.
And then some people, he said, no. What the hell you think I am? This is planet Earth.
Yeah.
I saw you, you saw you. And now you're saying, no, you didn't run through the red light? You're lying.
Maybe they feel
You're
like
lying.
maybe they feel like they have coverage. And see, that's what I was saying.
What kind of coverage is yes or no? Did you run through the red light?
Maybe they feel like they have someone who can vouch for them, saying, "Oh yeah, it wasn't a red light." Like,
so now you got other people that's going to lie for you and with you.
Yeah, an accomplice.
That part I get, and it happens all the time. That people are afraid of the truth.
Oh yeah, and that's why I said it kind of ties in.
But that ain't got nothing to do with fire plane. Fire plane is different. That's just a perspective.
Okay.
The stuff Katt Williams was saying, he's saying what he saw with his own eyes and heard with his own ears.
Well, see, with Katt, I actually appreciated.
Now, I will say some of that he said is his opinion of how he sees it.
Yeah, definitely. It's not all factual. It's not all factual.
But he will also say is prove that I'm lying.
Yeah,
right.
And see, that's the thing I can appreciate about Katt. He kind of took. One, he did his due diligence before he came to the show. And remember we were talking about earlier, I asked you about like to do due diligence before you went in. You know what I'm saying? He accepted everything. He's actually really smart. Like at least like from what he showed, he's very detailed, very detail oriented. Because if you actually listen, he said too, when he's a comedian, he actually goes in and jots down different jokes for different states. And he knows all this stuff. So he's really detail oriented from that. And that's what you gotta do to be great. And so when I'm hearing him talking, I do hear someone who's accepted who they are, who has accepted how the world actually is. And I kind of appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, you and I both have friends who are gay. Some of them.
In the closet.
Yeah.
Some of them in the closet, dog. Like, and I don't care why. I don't know why you can't be. Right?
I know you gay.
Yeah.
You know you gay, but you don't think I know you gay.
Like I'm not gonna drop no names. Yes, no. I wholeheartedly suspect someone I know to be gay. I have no problems with it at all.
Right.
I'm just looking forward to the day to see Buddy come out of the closet and be like, I knew it. I knew it.
But you know, the flip side of it is though, because I do have friends who are gay.
Right.
And we talk about this.
Yeah.
And they're like, so Reggie, why does a gay person have to come out of the closet in the first place? Why can't they just be who they are, live how who they are? Why are you worrying about them being gay? They're not worried about you being straight. So therefore, you know, how do you get to judge what they should do based on their sexual preferences and choices? Because you think they should come out the closet. And that's a real good question.
It is. But my thing is, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you. Like, I want you to be happy. I'm happy saying I'm straight. So I want you to be straight saying you happy. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's all I want you to do.
But that's what you want, right? And we don't know what they do.
So they don't. So should we?
We don't know what their whole world is.
No, but so should we not expect for people? Because I feel like that is them being happy. Is saying
you feel like.
Well, I'm thinking like because they want to, or LGBTQ community have said they want to voice their opinion. They want to voice themselves and say you're gay and you're proud, all that stuff. Like we've heard those slogans,
but that doesn't apply to everybody.
It might not. It might not. So if that's the case, I would be curious why not. Then, like and you don't have to come out.
A friend that just doesn't care about the whole LGBTQ plus.
Do they disassociate from it?
They don't disassociate.
Okay, that I can take that. Then
it's just like you're an American. So you got independents, Democrats, and Republicans. They're all Americans.
Yeah.
So do you associate with them all?
No.
Exactly. But they're Americans.
Yeah.
Do they all speak for you? But they're Americans. And they're in charge. And they're in leadership positions. And they're politicians. And, you know, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And you're an American too.
Yeah. That's
so same thing with the LGBTQ plus community, right? People can be who they want to be. And they can say, I don't stand for everything you stand for. You don't represent me. I represent you. There's some people in the gay community, and I keep saying LGBTQ plus, but the point is, in that community, who just like, you know what, I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm an authentic me. And however my authentic me is, it's me. you don't get to represent who I am, no more than I'm trying to represent who you are. I'm just representing me. And that's what I like about Katt Williams, right? He doesn't try to represent anyone else.
Yeah.
But he also doesn't want everybody trying to represent him. He can speak for himself and he can be himself.
Yeah.
You know, and so to that end, when he did that presentation, he was just being Katt Williams.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to pick sides.
Oh yeah.
And you know, say he shouldn't have done that. And there are others that'll say, I'm glad he did that. But at the end of the day, he's just being himself.
Yeah.
And you got to respect that.
You can't be mad at him. And plus, he did it in a way where it's actually, it was comedic. I thought it was a bit. Like, I thought the whole thing literally could have been an episode solely of him and he's just doing comedy, he's doing jokes. Because, I mean, all good jokes contain true shit. That's what that is a saying. So, when he's going at all these people, I'm not mad at it. Like, I took it as comedy. So
the question though can be, what's the impact?
I think the impact was what he said.
On those people who he named.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, they can go tell their own story. Like, I don't think it's going to negatively impact them to where their lives are messed up. Like, okay, they got.
You never know, man. Politicians
but they got
and celebrities and things like that. You're in the public eye,
but,
right? And so you're already being slammed just because you woke up today.
But all he really said was, "Look, bro, they clicky, and they and they stole some jokes." Newsflash: people will remix stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the problem is, and this is why I took it from Katt Williams. Katt feels hurt. He feels neglected. He feels like he should have been given more because he earned it.
Mm.
So I heard a little bit of that in his truth as well.
Mm-hmm. But he also, I think, understands the trade-off of accepting his independence. Because in order to get some of those things that you talked about, he could have gotten.
Yeah,
he would have had to say yes to some things he didn't want to say yes to. And as a result of him not saying yes, you know, he kind of, you know, snatched the carpet from his own feet in the sense that he is not going to say yes to things that he feels may compromise him, his morals, his mindset, his thought process, or just what he believes in.
Yeah.
And now he's got to, you know, say yes and give up his values.
Yeah.
This thing is nip.
And
no, I am not doing it. Well, if you ain't gonna do this, then you can't have that.
And I get that too, because
You know?
like there's definitely times in life where I'm like, you know what, I could go this route, it would produce me this, but do I really want to do this right here? Like I want this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like going through this though. So
politics and business and industry and military,
mm-hmm.
you know, especially if you're a high profile officer in the military, yeah, you gotta make those kind of choices.
Yeah. I wonder though now if Hollywood's going to change, because it's always been perceived as fake. It's always had that fake facade, right? But now if you're saying, oh, I'm gonna put you on Front Street, I'm gonna call you out on your shit now, like that could be a new way. So
I don't know, man. I'm not in Hollywood. I know a lot of people there. I have friends that are in the game.
mm-hmm.
But you know, evolution occurs. You know, Hollywood in 1940 is different than it is in 2024.
Yeah.
You know, back then it was literally white men in charge of everything, doing everything. Kind of still is that way now, but there's a whole different level of equity that has occurred, right?
Mm-hmm.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility. So I think that, to your point of putting people on blast or the truth and all that, it's been happening. You got Access Hollywood, you got
that's true.
tabloids,
That's
you
true.
have all of these things that do that. But then they're also doing their thing, right?
I gotta say, because like Katt kind of sounded like he was giving some of the script writers scripts out, like he was leaking it, because he said, who was it? Ludacris signed like a 2-year, $200 million or something like that deal, and it's for like essentially what I heard was there's gonna be a lot more Fast and Furious coming out. So cool. I'm wondering what's the next one gonna look like.
I mean, we all have, but often we are privy to information behind the scenes of what's going on. In every fraternity and sorority, there's stuff going on behind the scenes. In every major business and politics, there's stuff going on. I mean, I spent 3.5 years on Capitol Hill. I saw a lot of stuff, heard a lot of stuff. So now, do I take that information that I know, some of it's privilege, and share it? Well, I could. I mean, I could.
But that messes you up.
Maybe. But
I mean, during that time period, I think if you did it the way Katt did, where he's accumulating a lot of information, and you drop a mean bomb towards a lot of folks later on in life, I think that could hit a little differently. If you do
what
it
he
now,
said may be known to more than just him.
Yeah, but I think if you say it, you also cut off people with that discretion. Like, if I'm going out blasting people, you might be hesitant to tell me something because you think I'm going to go out and say it. Like I've told, so I had 2 friends who I told both of them, but they were interested in one another. I let them both know. Trey don't know, see, or hear. You know what I'm saying? So like that discretion piece, they were able to come to me and talk to me about whatever. So I wouldn't want to lose that piece. So that's what I was saying later on.
I got it. Yeah, it's an integrity piece and confidentiality. You know, I'm a leadership coach, right? So as a leadership coach, I have clients who share information in a brave and safe space. That it doesn't go anywhere. And I can't violate that.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I like about Shannon's platform too. I think it's about like he could actually turn into like, I think he has the platform now to do so. If he plays his cards right.
He knows a lot about a lot of people.
Yeah, and he could also turn into like the male version of Oprah if he plays his cards right. Like I think he could. I don't know if he wants to. I think he could. The reason why I say that, you have a platform now where people want to come talk to you and they feel like it's a safe space and it's not going to damage their image. Because Katt Williams is skyrocketing right now. So you just tweak up a few things here on your show. You don't have to be exactly like Oprah, bro, but like you could definitely hit that realm. And he has the
but with that change, right? Because here's the deal. Right now he's podcast.
It's like a show though.
Oh, yeah, it's a show. Does he have like 100 people in the audience?
No, but I think you can build up to that though. And especially if you have enough people.
That I get and I agree. But if he were to have 100 people in the audience and cameras everywhere, you know, that whole platform,
right? Does
that change the dynamics of what he does? Like he does it in an intimate environment where it's almost like one-on-one. Like
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So this conversation you and I are having right now, we've got cameras and stuff like that. But suppose behind there was like, 50 people everywhere sitting on this, just watching, laughing at whatever we say. Now, are you and I talking like we normally talk, or are we also conscious of entertaining, persuading, informing, more than just the cameras, but watching the expressions and playing off of the expressions?
So I feel like, do you think it wouldn't have gone the same if people were in that room with them? Because I feel like it would have. Because I feel like if I'm looking at a TV screen, like these cameras right now, others are going to be watching it soon. So like, what am I doing right now that someone might catch later on? Like I'm worrying about that's in the back of my head. So it's in a similar realm, I guess.
The energy of the space is based on also who's in the space.
That's true too.
Like if she was over there picking her nose and this guy was over here looking at her picking her, we would see that. And
it might have felt okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody sneezed when everybody said, "All right," right? We would know that.
Okay.
Or that one dude in the back just looks suspect.
So then maybe
does he have a gun or whatever? Keep your hand up while we talk. So now we're conscious of other things beyond just what we are talking about.
Okay.
Because you bring the energy of other people in the room when you bring people in.
So then maybe you just bring them on for the real intimate discussions in the podcast show.
All I'm saying is that there are different dynamics.
Oh, no, yeah.
The Oprah thing, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if he goes that route, then he's no longer.
You think you think you can't do that on like?
Don't know, but it's different.
It'll be different. I think you can have that as a ice. You can have the more intimate scenes, and you can show those out to people. And you still record. Like I think those would be good. I think that's good footage to have. And then there's days where you might not want to record something. You can lay those in replace of that, as long as you got approval from the people who you actually recorded. But I think you can do like maybe like a Friday, you drop like an intimate video. But then Monday through Thursday, you got normal guests coming into the show and doing your normal routine.
Well, what's your purpose now? Like, what's your reason?
Well, I think with Katt, folks learn something from him.
No, but it's not Katt shows.
Well, no. I'm talking about from like from Uncle Shannon. So if I know that people learned a lot from Katt Williams, which respectfully, if you had told me, when did I watch this yesterday? If you had told me 24 hours ago, like, you can learn a lot from Katt Williams outside of comic stuff, I would have been surprised. Knowing that, coupled with the job he did, Shannon meaning, as a host, I think you can help educate and enlighten folks, one, on just showing, this is what actually happened in life, at least from this person's vantage point. And you might be looking at someone now and saying, oh, maybe I need to change up who I'm respecting or who I'm viewing or whatever the case may be.
But again, it goes back to the purpose, right? What was the purpose to invite Katt Williams onto the show in the first place?
Entertainment, and then
I don't know. I mean, but the point is, whatever his reason for having them on the show,
gotta say this.
That's what he was trying to do. The question then becomes, did you achieve your objective? Now, get it. Other people will say, well, we can use it for this, we can do it, that's marketing, that's money, that's business, But if that wasn't necessarily your mindset, you just wanted to give this brother a platform to say what he had to say, and you want to, interview him. Mm-hmm. All right, well, when you start to modify a lot of that, well, so does the energy and dynamics of the interviewing. And now, do you actually continue to get what you thought you were going to get? Okay, because you just changed.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was a DJ, DJing like basement parties, right? And it'd be like 25, 30 people. And then I DJed at a major New York City club, and it went to my head. Like, I was a star. DJ Dr. Reggie B, name and lights, all that kind of stuff, right? That changed a whole lot of things that I did, good and bad. And then, of course, I grew, and now, I own this company. And so the point is, it changed. I still think I'm that same DJ that practiced in the bedroom, but I'm not. I lost that when I went professional.
Okay. See, I Shannon, it sounds like you need to link up with us, bro. I got some good ideas for you. So just holler at your boy.
There you go.
Like we get you right.
You want to like host his show when he goes on vacation or something like that?
Host, produce, whatever. Like I'll script write. I'll
write his scripts.
I confidently say yes. I confidently say yes. Now, I mean, I like to pick his brain a little bit because I did appreciate the job he did as a host.
And he's an athlete.
And he's an athlete.
You're an athlete.
He's been in the entertainment. He's more of an athlete than I am. Like he's more. I'll tip my cap on that one, brother. But yeah, we both love athletes. We both, I think, are entertaining. Or at least love the entertainment aspect. Mm-hmm. Also love talking. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
You like talking?
I love. Like and this is why I know too. I think he's gonna be fine because like he paid attention to the details of stuff, and like I know I love talking. Like I would have loved to be a lawyer. I love arguing.
Okay, yeah,
I just don't like the amount of reading and the work hours that they had to do with that. So I'm like, I'm good off that because I got
accepted into law school.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Temple University School of Law.
You ain't go, right? You ain't go.
My friend's dad was a judge, and he said, Reggie, congratulations. He said, you sure you're going to do this? I said, what are you talking about? He said, you've been married for a little while. Just had 2 new babies.
Yeah.
The law is a jealous mistress. It wants all your time and it doesn't care who it hurt. He used to say that, right? Yeah. Oh, man, if I go to law school, this ain't going to work. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to be the father I want to be, the husband I want to be, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to work. So I went to the dean and said, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. I even had a scholarship.
Oh man.
Yep. And I didn't do it. Another friend of mine, similar track. He did go to law school. He did have a wife and 2 children. And I'm glad I didn't go to law school.
Yeah, get that.
I like the life that I have now, the person I've become.
I feel that. It's like my cousin, she went to law school, Harvard. I'm saying big time. And like she's single. And I'm not. That's not a knock at all. Like I'm still single too. So, but like it just seems like from a personal side, I think there's like a little bit more she would have wanted out of. Like I think if she like kind of had to redo it again, and you knew there was a family involved, I think she might have chosen that
Trade
over. Yeah, as a trade off.
Yeah.
But being a lawyer though is cool though. Like it looked like so much fun. I ain't gonna hold you. It's just the reading.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends that are attorneys.
Do they share that same sentiment, or they say it just pays the bills?
A lot of them make a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying.
They make money, but they like it, right?
They like it.
They enjoy the reading. They enjoy the challenge.
They do the day-to-day stuff.
They love it.
Because in that interview, Katt was saying that, like, you know, he does all this work. He puts all this work into it. And I think everyone should really look at a job that they want to do and see how much work that has to like entail. Like that's the reason why
you gotta love it.
You have to. Like, cause I wanted to do stand up, and I understand. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to know every state and the differences there, and then I got to go across the world and do all this other stuff. He's like, you know what? No, I just want to tell some casual jokes.
You gotta prove yourself.
Exactly. You got to prove your passion.
And I remember when I had to DJ more than just my genre. Because, you know, some DJs can only DJ hip-hop.
Yeah.
Or R&B. I had to DJ hip-hop, R&B, reggae, punk, funk, rhythm, jazz, Asian music, and island music, Pan-American social club, the Asian...
you have to understand a lot.
And rock and roll. And I had to play for crowds like that.
Yeah.
And turn the party out.
Even if you're trying to make music or beats, it's good to have the understanding of those other genres. Because if you're listening to those songs, they play some of those beats. Like, or there's like a little snippet or sample that they'll take from that song, and it's like, oh, I like that little joint right there. Where did they get that from? Like, I like those.
I was just in Bahamas, Junkanoo. In Junkanoo, they had this beat with these goat skin drums. And it was so awesome that a blind and deaf person could still dance. Feel it. I mean, anyway. We diverted. What were we talking about? Katt Williams.
The detail that
we talked about cancer.
I'm about to say,
and we talked about the reality of being authentic. Like
authentic, yep, and acceptance as well.
And you were trying to like do a quasi interview with Shay to get on his show.
But I guess Katt too, since Katt and Shay, if y'all want to come on the show, you're more than welcome.
Oh, you mean come on this show?
Yeah, if y'all more than welcome. Y'all more than welcome. Or if y'all need some assistance, just let us know. We got you. But yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. But no, I was like for me, Reggie, because I think like we can actually talk a little bit more about Katt. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that though. I don't want to do that though, only because I feel like we can transition it to another video, another time, another day. So I mean that unless you got something you want to get off your chest, I know we on our segment earlier. If you want to drop any knowledge real quick before we.
No, the main thing is cancer doesn't care, and people should get checked. I mean, that's really, my message at the end of it, boiled down. Cancer doesn't care. It's killing everybody. Not everybody, but it's killing a lot of people. And you need to get checked so you're not that one. So if you want to be a victim of cancer, don't get checked. If you want to make sure that cancer doesn't get you first, get checked. Yeah. So, I mean, it's dangerous. It's a war zone and it's in your body. Flowers. You always talk about flowers, giving people flowers. So here's what I want to do. I want to give pink flowers to all of the cancer survivors.
The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation believes that routine screenings can save lives and that access to these services should not be a barrier. Our mission is to promote eye health education, free eye exams, free eye screenings, and free glasses to our communities with the focus of highlighting early detection. The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation also gives individuals with low vision and blindness the opportunities to be a part of certain community events regardless of visual impairments.
That's tough. That's tough. That's solid.
I want to give pink flowers to all of the cancer survivors because I'm in the club.
Conceited. Oh my God.
I'm in the club.
Oh my gosh. I was giving them some credit. Now I gotta take it back. Oh man. No, that's a good one though. No, that's real.
Yeah.
And it extends to so much too, because like it's so many things that cancer can actually attack, and you really. Like you'd be surprised. Like I was gonna say that I don't even know all this stuff. I just know that it's a good. Like I didn't know.
So it attacked my prostate.
Yeah, like I know lungs. I know your skin. Which the skin part I was confused about. Which, like
the sunspots.
So when I hear skin, it's like your whole. I'm thinking your whole body. So at that point in time,
it could be a spot, and then it can spread.
Okay.
And then you have your lungs, your kidneys, liver, your blood, your brain, your prostate, your colon, your bones, the marrow in your bones. Once cancer gets into the marrow of your bone, how do you get it out? Right? And so cancer can go a lot of different places. And they may even have new discoveries coming up, right? And what it does.
I'm curious what the technologies are going to do, or what technology are going to come out that maybe it can help like pinpoint what's causing it. Or
it has.
Or really? Because
think about it, right? I was born in 1962. Anybody that got prostate cancer in 1962 died. Because they didn't know. So they didn't know they had it. They didn't know how to detect it. They didn't know what to do. Right? They didn't have robotic type medical capabilities to perform precision and lasers and all that kind of stuff. None of that existed.
I'm talking more so like, for example, diet. Like remember we were talking earlier about like if
I do know some people who are keeping their PSA in check through diet.
Okay.
And they're doing a great job. He went in for a check. His PSA was 500 and something, and then they did a biopsy of his prostate, and then when the biopsy showed he was at 700 and something PSA. So he and they said we can't do nothing about it. We can't remove it. Basically this is your life. So he changed his entire diet, and his prostate PSA number went down significantly. Yeah, so
diet probably does. See, like when I was doing the research again, I just did a little bit. I'm not no SME, but I will say it did seem like there's
what's an SME?
Subject matter expert. So I swear that's like the one acronym we use consistently on this show. But like when I was looking at it, I guess there wasn't a 100% cause or 100% like definite root saying, oh, this is the reason why. And so I guess maybe I'm curious how far along in the future we can get before we understand the exact
genetics of it.
Yeah, like what's really causing everything.
I mean, that would be great to know based on just a checkup. That the risk of you getting cancer 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now is this, and we know what type of cancer you might get, or because we know that, we can go and do some preventive things, and you won't get cancer, right? Because we understand DNA and cells and all of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
That we can now cancel cancer.
Exactly.
So, who knows, right? Technology, or maybe the aliens already know this, and at some point they're just waiting for us to get smart enough to be able to receive their technology and then just get us the playbook for that. All right, this is why you don't have to have cancer anymore. Oh, well, shit. Why didn't you tell us this? Because we couldn't let you know who you were.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be really an alien.
I'd be a little upset if I was an alien, Reggie. Why?
Would you
Because
be
like I feel like if I'm an alien, I should be able to jump astronomically high. So I should easily be in the NBA or something. Like I feel like I've fallen short to my capabilities. What they say, we use 10% of our brain. So I'm thinking if I'm an alien, I should at least be up to a solid 25.
Okay, but then you're not at
Yeah. I don't think I am. Either that or a really lazy alien or a really lazy one. No, but I greatly appreciate this though, Reggie. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys have listened, I hope you all have actually learned something today. Reggie had a lot of things to share with us in regard to cancer, so I'm glad you actually shared everything you said. And also, y'all paid attention to the video that he added as well. That was a good one as well. And then also to Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe. I do appreciate you boys for the information that y'all gave, for the entertainment that was displayed. Obviously, it helped us with a little conversation, but also it's helped other people as well too. So you also inspired me myself personally, Katt Williams. So you might see me maybe at a comedy show or comedy stand up one day. I might try. I might have to go because I've always wanted to do it so long. So figure why not? And I mean, I'm not gonna care about those clicks either. Like you just gotta go about it however you want to. You know what I'm saying? It's like the moment I saw the video, I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna rattle off some more videos real quick. Like it was inspiring. So you got to keep that going. So I say if y'all ever want to partner up, I'm more than happy because I was definitely inspired by that. So, but like with that, we can go ahead and close up shop. So my name is Trey. This is Reggie, and we are just living life. So hope you all enjoy this. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone who's anyone about the show. Take care.